Good morning, this is Howie and I'm here to help you win with money. Today is Saturday, February 13th. It is the end of week 6. I'm going to create the video of all my transactions for the whole week, and this video will be a little bit longer. So if you don't have time, you can always come back and watch it or just scroll to the end and see the results. So this week I did couple videos on options trading. I did one on dividends plus options, but the big move was definitely cannabis and bitcoins. I did a couple trades there, and I did a new exposed by math. Those are really popular. Those are generally longer videos, but they're great to teach and explain. If you have time, you should definitely explore the playlist. Maybe look at a particular topic that you like if you want to learn about it. And before I start this week's video, for those who are on Facebook, there is Facebook groups that I generally chat in to help people. People like to ask questions and a great way to learn. I like to join those that have admins from the US, so I look for something like that with less spam. But here's one that I like. It's Investing 102, and you can catch me on there. So here's the week. The market ended pretty well. It was green. Some of the stuff that I've been following, mostly green. So I love it. Cannabis was hot. Bitcoin is hot. You can see here, Bitcoin is at 47,000. Ether is at 18. I don't know what this weekend is going to bring, but let's keep an eye on it. A lot of businesses introduce or say that they will work with Bitcoin. And the big news for this week was Tesla buying $1.5 billion of Bitcoin on their balance sheet. So let's go straight to ETrade and let's start doing the transaction logs. First thing I do is open my spreadsheet. You can see here I pivot all my options data for my brokerage company. So the first thing you're going to notice is the last data I have was from the 5th. That's last Friday. So I'm going to copy in all the data from Monday the 8th all the way to Friday the 12th into the spreadsheet. I just copied that. Let me paste it in. Okay, let me get more. Here's more from the 8th. I gotta copy that. Paste that. Now I'm gonna copy the data from the 9th. Paste that. More pasting. Now we're on the 10th. $11. Okay, let's find the 12. That was 12, and I think I have a little bit more for the 12. And here it is for the 12, and I got some dividends for the 12. And that's the 12. So I did a lot of activity on the 12. Now before I start, let me just scroll all the way up. Those are all my transactions for the week. First thing I'm going to do is move the date over here. Let's unhide that. Paste that in. Let's just copy some of the formulas down first before we do any formatting and fixing everything up. I got to delete all those extra rows, the assignment rows and everything else. So let me clean those up before we start. And I believe I fixed everything by setting all the dividends, call puts, all the tickers, all the option methods. I number all the trades. And the only way I would know if everything is right is after looking at the pivot table. So for right now, I'm assuming everything is right, but I won't know until I pivot. So I just saved it. I'm going to scroll up here. Let's go to this pivot here. And this is my tracker. I'm going to hit refresh. And let me just analyze the data and see if this makes sense. You see, sometimes these numbers, while they look really high, that's okay, because I am doing a lot of spreads, and sometimes when you're dealing with big numbers, as long as they offset each other, that's fine. So I don't see anything wrong with that. It's saying I lost $700 on Friday. And another way to double check it is just go here. Let's hit the refresh button. You can see that the monthly values have now gone higher. This has gone higher. So I gained $600 this week is what it's telling me, because the value's here a little bit under 6. Let me just assume this is right. I won't know until I take a little bit more detail and look around. But I'm assuming that's going to be right. So you put that here. Number of trades is now 227, my average profit per trade. So now what we're going to say is 227. This P&L goes in here. Average trade is 31.27. This now becomes green because the end of the week is here. So far, when I double checked it, everything looks okay. I don't see anything weird. There's a couple things that I am waiting for to play out, but the cover calls obviously are not doing so well. My iron condors are doing okay. But I want to show you a couple things on this side. So my averages are where I think it should be. So I am still making money. So that's fine. That's what I care about. I'm up to $7,000 for week 6. Again, I'm not making much. I mean, I'm averaging, if you do the math, that's just about $1,000 a week right now. And my averages will probably end up going down and down as time goes on. So let's take a look at some of the raw data. First one I'm going to do is I'm going to show you Riot blockchain. You'll see what I end up doing here. I did a lot of trades on the 8th and the 9th. Just between those 2 days, I did so many trades. I actually marked it as a pattern day trader, and I counted those. Anything given on the same day, I count it as a single trade. Same thing with here. Anything on a single day, you see these trades here. I counted that as a single trade. So I'm not over counting it if I'm going in and out, or if I'm doing rolling down. I'm just counting it once per day. So this way you know I'm not cheating, but I have all the data here. You'll see that I am constantly changing the options. I go up and down on the price. I'm moving the put. These are cash secured puts. I'm moving it up. But what you should care about is how much money did I make this week trading it. And it's $1,200 so far. If you care about how long I've been trading it, if you just scroll all the way up, so far I have $2,900 just since a little bit before Christmas. You'll see the first time I bought in was on 12/22 here. It's not sorted, so 12/22. But I made $2,900 without ever owning the shares, and I still don't own it today. So I'm just playing that. I filter on MJ, which is the cannabis ETF. Here you can see I overpaid for it. If I show you this here, remember my pivot table on this side does not take into account of the underlying. So I spent nearly $3,400 buying the underlying using the profit from GW. So I don't count that as an options trade. So I took profit from one. I sold the GW for about $4,000 something. I made 44% on that. I took that money and I bought MJ at 33 over here, 33.89. And as you can see, I overpaid because the market then corrected downwards. Okay, and I'll show you what I mean. If you look at this, this is all my cover call premium that I collected so far. Since putting on the trade, I'm already collected $155. So that lower your cost bases. If you add this back in, that means so far my cost base is really $1.50 lower than this. So I'm in it at $32 and change. Another good example is Skechers. Here's my Skechers cover call. This is what it looked like since the beginning of the year. I collected $260 on a single contract. I only have 100 shares. And you can see at the beginning of the year, Skechers was actually higher because you can see what my contracts are, and then I move it down. You see how I'm rolling it down, rolling it down. Going forward, I'm using this pattern so I know what week it was. And here you can see Skechers, and this week alone, if you just do this, I collected $73 just in Skechers options premium. Now, is that a lot? Not a lot. But for a stock that is worth, let's say, $36, and I have 100 shares. So I'll show you this real quick. This is the week 6 premium, which is $73.91. You divide this by the sell here. I'm using, let's say, a cost basis of, or the market price, which is about 36. So that's 2% in premium just this week alone. And if you just do that for the beginning of the year, we can just divide it by $263. So it's $263. And let's just assume, let's just use a higher stock price. So let's just use like a $37 stock price. So you can see the premiums have returned roughly 7% so far. And remember, as a buy and hold investor, you don't do anything with your stock. It just sits there and earns nothing. Skechers give you 0 dividends. So by using an option play on top of that, whether you're right or wrong, because you see, so when I'm right, it expires worthless. When I'm wrong, I'm rolling it up or down. And sometimes I'm moving it closer, sometimes I'm moving it farther away. And that's the strategy. And then at the end of the year, I like to show you on 100 shares of Skechers, maybe I can pull in maybe $1,000. If not, that's okay. Because there is no set defined go that I use for trading. My go is just to boost it a little bit more than if I was doing nothing with the shares. And for the last ticker I wanted to talk about is the SPY. I wanted to show you my last week's trading. So you can see this is all week number 6. And the first thing you're going to notice is if I just start scrolling up here, you're going to see that I made profit in this. So here you go, you'll see it a little bit better. So for week 6, just in the SPY Iron Condors, I made $700. And if I keep on scrolling up, let's say for the month of February, you can see I made $1,600. And if I go to the beginning of the year, which is always highlighted in a color, I believe, so that will be over here, I make $2,900. So what I'm learning is you got to look at which trades make you money and which one don't. For instance, I think earlier this week, in one of my videos, I said I actually lost money in things like Intel or even Microsoft. When the stocks move too much, my iron condors are going to be tested. And it makes it harder for me to make a profit. And when it moves even faster than I expected, it puts me in a really bad spot. And there are times where you just have to eat the loss. And that's what I'm doing. You almost take profit from one trade like this, SPY, and then you're funneling it to pay for the other losers, the other trades that are bad. So now here's the question that I need to ask myself. If I know SPY, I can consistently make money even using a 10 delta on an iron condor, why do I even need to play a 5 delta or a 10 delta on Microsoft or Intel? Because I track all my trades and I can see which one are not working for me. And one of the things that I want to do is I'm starting to write more SPYs and less of other stuff. Because I'm just realizing that there are some things that I just have a harder time predicting what's going to happen with the move. Even using a very safe delta, I realize that the profits are just not there. Whereas in the SPY, I'm consistently making money. And there was one where I even opened on a Monday and I closed it on a Friday, and I made enough profit to justify doing it again. And that's what I think I want to do going forward, is to really examine all my trades, see which one are making me money and which one are not, because you can see these iron condors, they're doing really well. That brings this video to an end. You can see my P&L so far for week number 6. I'm on track to do my number of trades per year, and my P&L looks pretty good. It's on track to finish the year. Again, I'm aiming for above $10 to $15 per trade. And over time, like I said, my average will probably drop, but I'm going to try to keep it up on this pace. So with that, don't forget to comment below in my video. Tell me what you like. Tell me if you like this new format where I'm just doing it once a week, where I'm copying all my transactions and not daily. I know daily was just too much, Just a lot of stuff to look at, but I thought this is a little bit easier format. Don't forget, let's do this together. Let's do this $1 at a time. And as always, have a profitable day. Bye-bye.